I'm Jeremy, known as Commander Turtles on Flickr.
I'm Peyton, known as VT the Bomb on Flickr.
Okay. Very nice. You've got a great little display going on here that you worked with several other collaborators on. You want to give a quick overview of it?
Yeah, so basically what it is, it's the second Battle of Ramadi. It was when the Army and the Marines went in 2006. We tried to do something a little less known, less done. So basically what we did, the back row is where it started to get bombed out, and then it started graduating forward. So we wanted something where it was not torn up yet, and it's sort of the destruction's on its way. And the thing to remember about the city, it wasn't poor, so that's why it still looks nice.
And then, you know, small stuff like the detail that's added to the buildings, but, you know, having this difference where there are some Marines in the back, but there's, you know, still taking over parts of the city, and then the small little details with the road and such, and everything like that.
Sure. But, yeah, all the cool little details in here. So what inspired you guys to do this type of build in like this time era?
We've been doing military, at least I have at BrickFair, for the past 3 years. First year we did the Bin Laden raid, touchy. Last year we did a raid in Somalia that was a failure. And a lot of people were like, oh, we're just going to do this because it's new. This year we were like, let's do something out of the normal. Let's not do something that just happened or something World War II. Let's do something that was controversial, that wasn't popular. And this is what it was. I mean, we like to do the new stuff, so.
And so I think you touched on something interesting there about the, you know, obviously there are a lot of differing opinions on this time period in this war. Have you gotten some different reactions like that from the public and people that look at the build?
Yeah, we've had a few veterans come by and say, oh, it looks just like how it was, stuff like that. It didn't look that, or it was not as pretty when I got there, stuff like that. And other we have other people come by, why do you have a terrorist? That's racist, stuff like that. And we're like, it's a bad guy. If you can tell, we tried to stray away from using a certain flesh color, which obviously, for one, it's expensive, and for two, it was a little too edgy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with stuff like that, I mean, you either want it to be real, I mean, as close to realism as possible, but you're also always going to have somebody commenting on stuff like that. So there's not much that can be done about it. But I mean, it's what happened, it's how it happened. I mean, it's as close as you can get, stuff like that. So
yeah, and I think the display turned out great. I love you know, all the small details in the buildings and everything you were able to do with that. Is that something? Did you guys kind of base the buildings off some particular pictures you saw, or how did that work?
Every building in here was done off of a reference picture. So there's not buildings in here that you would not have seen in the town itself. All the architecture is pulled from not just Ramadi, but other cities in the Middle East, but it resembles each other. It's sort of like, just in America, you have the same sort of row home everywhere, no matter where you go, East Coast to West Coast, no matter what. So, I mean, it's similar, but different, if you could say that. But I mean, like we said, you had to realize the city wasn't poor. It was the richest city in Iraq at the time. As you can see with the one section, there's pearl gold on it. You know, it was like, it's a rich section. You can see there's a wall around it. So, and I mean, yeah.
And then you have like what he said, like with the city being rich and all, but it's also being at the process of being, you know, bombed out and stuff like that. So like there's buildings in the back that, you know, have been hit, but they're also falling apart, but somewhat still stable at least from the wealth and stuff. So stuff like that.
Yeah, and I noticed you're nominated for an award. Which one is that?
Right now it's currently for Best Military Diorama. The reason why we were chosen for it, to win Best Military, there should be very little war or fighting. And basically that's what they told us. They said, so you guys are still invading. It's not like it's a bombed out city that there's army or Marines just patrolling. The way you guys have it, they're just showing up and they're about to wreak havoc on the area. And that's why they liked it. And they also said the minute details in it were great. And they loved the bombed out buildings, but they also loved what might have been like shanty villages, stuff like that, as you can see with the apartment building. So, I mean, it's a good mix of old, new, destroyed, and perfect condition. So
Okay, very nice, and it's a great layout. Congratulations on the nomination. I think you guys did a great job. Thanks for telling us about it.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.